Hey, yo, salute to all my subscribers. Special shout out to everybody else passing through. YouTube, what's good? Hey, yo, first of all, good morning to all my subscribers. Salute to all the people. Um, I was just sitting here a few hours ago. I got the notification for the news story for the mass shooting that happened late last night out in Ventura County, out in California. And I was just sitting here thinking, like, yo, it's just another, it's just another situation that could have been avoided. Like I've been saying for a long time now, this country, I know it's never going to happen, but this country needs to just fucking do away with guns altogether because it's fucking pointless. Like it's fucking pointless. And it's depressing because, it's becoming increasingly less and less appealing to even fucking leave your house nowadays. Like it's crazy. Like, when the shooting happened out in Vegas a couple years ago, it was like, all right, now people aren't going to want to go to concerts and shows anymore. And then a few years back out in Florida at the nightclub, when the mass shooting happened, then it was like, okay, people aren't going to want to go to nightclubs anymore. Now it's like you can't even fucking go to a restaurant, go to a bar and have a drink. You know what I'm saying? Wind down, start your weekend off after a long week of work, and it's just getting crazy and crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the kind of person, I've always been a homebody anyway. But every once in a while, I go out to a bar, have a drink, or to a restaurant, whatever. But now it's just like you don't even want to fucking leave your house. It's like it's getting to the point where already with the ability to shop online and order shit online, even food for the most part, you really don't have to leave your house. But it's like for the people who want to go out every now and then just to, kind of let loosen up, unwind, you know what I'm saying, go to a nice little lounge or whatever, it's just becoming less and less appealing. You know what I'm saying? I was a person who used to like to go to the movies a lot. Like I was a very, very, very heavy moviegoer. And then some years back, when they had the shooting at the was it the Dark Knight? It was one of those Batman movies, right? That was released, and they had the big mass shooting. I forget, out in Utah or some shit like that. Um, since then, I don't even go to the movies half as much as I used to. And if I do go now, it's like during the day, like we go, we take the kids, it's like a Sunday or some crazy shit like that. But it's like there's so much fucked up shit going on. People don't even want to leave their house anymore, and it's depressing. You know what I'm saying? And for a person like me, who's already a homebody, it's not too much of a crazy adjustment, but it's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? You gotta think nowadays, every fucking time like it used to be back in the day, and I'm old now, I'm 35, I'm a little bit old now, but it used to be back in the day, you just had to worry about going to crazy neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? You had to worry about avoiding certain parts of town. You know what I'm saying? I was from those certain neighborhoods, so I was never really that uncomfortable. But it's like years ago, you knew where certain dangers were, and if you weren't in the mood for certain drama or certain shit to pop off, you knew what to avoid. What places to avoid, what people to avoid. But now it's like fucking go to the grocery store. Like you can't do shit. You literally can't go anywhere. And that shit is so fucking sad. It's so fucking depressing. And it gets worse and worse. It seems like every day it gets worse and worse. You know what I'm saying? It's really gonna get to the point where people are just gonna not want to go outside at all. And now here's the thing, and this is why I mentioned that. So that's a long segue into for all the people who say, for all the people who fight for gun rights, right? For all the people who say we need our guns, we want our guns, I understand the purpose of the Second Amendment. I understand the purpose of the right to bear arms. But at a certain point, when you get to a point where guns are no longer just about protecting your home, protecting your business, protecting your family, protecting what's yours. And you get to a point where people are just, for seemingly no reason, going out with these crazy unnecessary guns and shooting up public events, shooting up public places, you start to think more and more about certain things and how it doesn't make sense. You understand on one hand the hold that the NRA has on politics, and all the lobbyists and the people that help to get legislation passed for different types of weapons and rights to bear arms and all of these different guns that don't need to be legal but are, and certain states where there's open carry, or certain states where it's easier to get a firearm, and firearms that are high powered firearms. And it's like most people chalk it up to capitalism. Cool, I understand it. You know what I'm saying? But you got to start to think at a certain point. All of these Fortune 500 companies, these multi-million and multi-billion dollar businesses that eventually, and I've been saying this for a while, and it's really going to start happening. All of the companies that are going to be losing money because people just don't want to go out anymore. And it's going to get worse. And I wonder if there's going to be a point in which these same companies are going to start to say, yo, maybe we need to start rising up against the NRA. We need to start lobbying for tougher gun restriction. You know what I'm saying? Tougher gun laws, more regulations. I mean, I did a podcast a while back where I was talking about how we have so much technology in our cell phones. We got retina scanners, we got fingerprint scanners to where, you know, somebody can't even pick up your cell phone and use it unauthorized. You know what I'm saying? Because they got to have a fingerprint, or they got to have, you know what I'm saying? You need the eye scanner, all these different things. Why don't they have that technology in guns? Because there's so much technology out there that you can make smart guns to where, you know what I'm saying, they won't fire for anybody but that gun owner. For the people who purchase illegal guns or who get their hands on illegal guns. There's even technology where if they wanted to, they could make it to where, certain high powered firearms, with certain regulations, and if they start to make these firearms smart devices where they won't allow you to fire so many rounds per second, or it's almost like, vehicles, how they have governor chips in them and you can't go over, to make the vehicle street legal, they put the governors in them so that they don't go over a certain speed unless you purchase like these exotic foreign cars. There are so many things that can be done, and it's like no one gives a shit. No one gives a fuck. And the more people die, it's a tragedy. It's all over the news, the 24-hour news cycle until the next big thing happens. And then we talk about it for a few days, a few weeks, and then some reporter on some news station comes out and says, "Oh, you know, this person suffered from mental illness," and it's almost like it's okay now to shoot up a place, to orchestrate a mass shooting, shoot up a place, because then it almost always ends up with the shooter somehow being a victim, because all you got to do is say, "Oh, it's mental illness," and then it's like, okay, what can you do? You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because when you think of places like the UK, where they have completely, completely gotten rid of firearms. Even the police officers in the UK don't carry firearms. I mean, they have their special police force that are armed, but there are no guns. Mind you, the UK is the stabbing capital of the world, um, but that's more, far more manageable. Although knives are very dangerous, that's far more manageable than having these high-powered rifles and these high-powered, semi-automatics, and where people can just open up on a crowd and kill dozens of people within seconds. It's ridiculous. The shit, it really gets to a point where it doesn't make any fucking sense at all. And it gets depressing, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the kind of person, I don't necessarily worry about me, but I have children that I have to raise in this world. Children, and it just seems like for those of us who are parents and for those of us who want to become parents, Look at the world that we're going to be leaving behind to our children. This shit is crazy. And at some point, it's just like, yo, what do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you do for all of these families, for all these mothers who lose their children, fathers who lose their children, kids who lose their parents, brothers who lose their sisters, friends losing friends, just because somebody wanted to go out to a restaurant and enjoy their night and start the weekend off, you know what I'm saying, with dinner and a drink at a bar, and they never come back home for nothing, for nothing. The shit, it doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. I don't know, man. I was just thinking about this shit and just decided to vent a little bit. We need to somebody needs to figure something out with this shit. There's got to be a compromise. There's got to be a line somewhere that you can draw where you say, okay, look, I understand there's a right to bear arms. I understand the Second Amendment. I understand the right to protect yourself from other people and also from, you know, the government if they should ever come for us. But yo, look at this shit. At a certain point, it does more harm than good. You know what I mean? It does. It does more harm than good at a certain point. I don't know, man. Let me know your thoughts. I'm gonna be following this news story closely because I'm interested to see if this is another person that they're gonna say is just mentally ill or was suffering from, some type of PTSD or postpartum or whatever. Um, More innocent lives. 12 people. 12 people killed. One of them a sheriff's deputy. Like, it don't make no fucking sense. It's another fucked up day in this country, bro. And then we wonder why people in other countries look at us as being so fucked up. It's funny because we look at other countries and we think, damn, it's fucked up over there. We look at other countries and we think, damn, they don't have half of what we have. But then you know what? Those same people from those same other countries look at us as Americans, look at us as a nation, and they say they may have opportunity, but shit, that they're a fucked up country. I would never want to, deal with the type of shit they got to deal with. And it's true because have an opportunity, being fortunate to be afforded certain things, but then you got to ask yourself at what cost. At a certain point, it's not worth it. Anyway, man, I'll pretend to know everything. Let me know what y'all think about this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and love.